Hey, what's up with it? I'm back in this kitchen, man. Getting my chocolate thing on. Yeah, as you notice, I don't have a blender, so I have to use this fork. And it's working out pretty good for me, actually. You know what I mean? Just thinking about my mom, how my mom taught me how to work my way around the kitchen, and the fact that I'm left-handed. And when we used to string beans on the porch, clean them beans at the kitchen table, cutting potatoes and things. You know, things are not made for left-handed people. They're made, everything is pretty much predominantly made for right-handed people. So she would get a kick out of watching me take a right-handed knife and peel a potato, cut an onion, you know what I mean, or the way I used to string peas and beans and stuff. And it was comical to her. She used to enjoy that because, you know, a lot of things for me in life have always came natural. You know, it wasn't a struggle. I never struggled with things until I decided that I wanted to get into another way of life. And I had my struggle with that. But, you know, I come in the kitchen, man, and I be cooking. I think about my mom a lot. You know what I mean? And I could say at this point in my life, my mom would tell me that she is proud of me and for me to continue doing what I'm doing, to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I be missing my mom, man. You know, you know, sometimes I know when I would call, regardless, day or night, time or whatever, she would answer the phone, regardless of what I was going through. She would always tell me, Michael, you got to figure it out, son. You know what I mean? I can only love you so much, and I can only carry you so far in life. You're gonna have to pick up your own pieces and figure it out for yourself. You know what I mean? And, you can't run from your issues. You're gonna have to face them head on. And when you get to that point in your life and you start doing that, things will start making sense. You'll have a better idea of how you want to go about life. And I've been embracing those words a lot here lately. You know what I mean? Just reflecting. Sometimes having silent conversations with my mom, not even realizing, you know what I mean, in spirit. You know what I mean? My mom was a very dominant woman. You know, she had her flaws, but a couple of things that she was not going to do was pacify me and, you know, support my bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something. A mother's love can never be replaced in life. You can never replace your mom's love with another woman, with a drug. You know what I mean? Nothing. There's nothing that's gonna replace that. So if any of you out there having an issue with your mom, you know what I mean? Somebody has to be the bigger person, and oftentimes our parents, they're not gonna be the one to say, "Hey, I was wrong," or "I may have did some things," you know what I mean, that affect you in your from your childhood that are affecting you in your adult life. And all we can do is accept that and grow from that. You know what I mean? We have to learn from that, grow from that, and say, "Hey, mom, it's okay. I'm gonna figure it out." You know what I mean? Thank you. You know, let me tell you, when I used to be on my binges and I didn't want to go to my baby mama house or go to Erica's house, things like that, I would go to my mom's house. And as sickly as my mom was, she would get up out of her bed and go in her living room and sit on her couch and let me get in her bed and rest. You know what I mean? That's a mother's love. You know what I mean? But once she felt like I rested enough, I had to get up out of there. There wasn't no sticking around. Wasn't no you finna nah, you not finna lounge in here. You know what I mean? Get your thoughts together. Hopefully you came up with a plan, but you got to go. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of times, man, me being in my childish ways and still pointing the finger and wanting to blame and not accept my own actions for what they were and my own defaults for what they were, I would get upset, man, and I would say things to my mom that were not kind and that were very disrespectful. You know what I mean? You know, you don't have to cuss to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? To your parent, it's not. And it's not always involving cuss words. It's our actions. You know what I mean? And for my mom to get out of her bed and say, Michael, go in there and lay down. You know what I mean? And when I get up, she might have a walker and she will be in the kitchen cooking, trying to fix me something to eat to help me replenish myself to get my energy back. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Just to give her son something to push forward. You know what I mean? To become a better man. She never stopped. I mean, up until first final days around here with me. You know what I mean? She would tell me, Michael, you got to go to ground zero. You got to go to ground zero. You got to figure it out from there. You got to start over with yourself. You're not going to be able to start over with other people, start over with a female. You know what I mean? She always tell me you can run to therapy, and you can talk to the counselors, and you can do all of that. But until you take it upon yourself to figure out what it is that's keeping you from becoming a better man for yourself, then none of that is going to work. You know, and December 21st, 2024, when my sister called me and told me that she had expired, that you know, it done something to me, man. I didn't understand, you know what I mean, like what was really going on. Although I knew she was gone, but I didn't realize the effect that it was gonna have on me, like the effect that it had on me. That effect that my mom passed by. What's up, little John, man? Peace, Southside homie, man. But like I'm saying, bro, with my mom, when she expired, bro, that thing done something to me, man. And it took a few months. It took a few more months, man, for me to figure it out. But I knew then I couldn't continue to live the way that I was living, man. Like shit wasn't getting me nowhere. I was going nowhere fast. You know what I'm saying? And the further I was going, the more out of touch I was with life, with reality. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do a whole lot of soul searching, man, and spiritual seeking, man. And here I am, bro. I'm in the kitchen fixing brownies, man. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about my mom. And my mom loved me the way that she loved me. It can never be replaced. So I'm gonna say this again. If you got issues with your parents, whoever out there listening to me, man, if you got issues with your parents, man, be the bigger person and come to a resolve with that, because when they go, they're not here no more, man. Ain't nobody to answer their phone, bro. Shit bothers me, man. Shit really bothers me sometimes, bro. You know, it bothers me, man. But I do know that I adapted something from my mom that I never really knew how to possess. And it's strength, bro. It's strength. It's strength to know that I am better than everything I've ever represented to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than anything I've ever represented to my people, man. So now I just I wanna be a tool. I wanna be a vessel for anybody out there, man, that feels like whatever it is that you're doing, you got to do that, man. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that no more, man. It's a better way for us out here, bro. And sometimes it takes time, man. Sometimes you just gotta sit still. And sometimes you gotta be still, man, and not smoke that blunt. You know what I'm saying? Not hit that bag, not pop that pill, not cuss that bitch out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta keep your mouth shut. And when you really understand the value of self-preservation, then things will start happening in your life that you can be proud of, and you won't really be caring about what nobody else thinks. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to be concerned with the politics of how people feel about us, but overall, you will stop worrying about them people, what they feel, how they think about you, and you'll continue to go forward in your life, man. You're gonna have to accept the fact that you're gonna have to let a lot of people go. People not gonna be able to go with you. People can't come with you. when you're going into another realm of life. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight everybody's demons. You know what I mean? And when you stop fighting your own demons, then you stop fighting other people's demons. You can't fight other people's demons without taking care of your own demons, man. You have to give them comfort. You have to tell your demons, hey man, you need to sit down over there and you need to let me work this out without you this time. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I try to work it out with you, I put myself in a situation I don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? And when you get tired of being in them fucking situations, you know what I'm saying? That's when you tapping into your spirituality, man, whether it be through Christ, whether it be through Allah, whether it be through spirituality, whether you just don't believe in none of that, however it goes, you still tapping into a spiritual element that's going to give you divinity within yourself, and you can start to overcome and become a better person for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's my objective, man. I've been out here on this West Coast now since August, and I can honestly say, man, I've learned so many things about myself that I didn't know, man, and I learned a lot of things about myself that I didn't like, and I knew I didn't like them. I just didn't know how to turn them into things for myself that would work for me, that I would start liking, that I would start adapting to, and whatnot. And so I spent a lot of time by myself with my headphones on, listening to music. You know what I mean? I write a lot of poetry, man. I be putting them on my little posts, on my little reels and stuff, or whatever, man. But it's all to send a message back to the town, man, to let my peers, young and old alike, man, know that hey, you can put yourself in a better way of life and a better position to be successful on your own merit when you take the time to study yourself and learn yourself and be kind to your parents, man. I can't stress that more than anything, man. Be kind to your parents. And when you're kind to your parents, you will receive blessings. I don't really like that word, but I'll use it. You receive the blessings, and you'll be able to transfer the blessings into other people. You'll be able to accept those blessings without feeling guilty, you know what I'm saying, and having all of that just sitting on your chest and things like that, man. And with that being said, Lil John, I love you, bro. Southside for life, man. We ain't never going nowhere, man. They're gonna have to deal with us, or they're gonna have to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot. I'm gonna get off of this thing, man. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. I love my city, man. But my city, me and my city, we don't get along. You know what I mean? We don't get along. When I'm in my city, man, I get distracted. I'm not comfortable with myself. I don't feel alive. You know what I mean? And that's because of the things that I've done in that city. So I left my demons in that city to rest. So my demons got to rest where they started at, and that's where they started at. I didn't bring my demons with me. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to thank God, man, for another day, man. I love y'all, man. Peace.